Alright, so I just got off work, and I was at work thinking to myself, hey, what should I do today? Because I got off pretty early, and I was like, you know what? I should go watch One Piece. Not because I like One Piece, but because you guys like One Piece. So I'm gonna watch the One Piece movie. And I'm not a fan of One Piece. I don't keep up with the current series. My knowledge is whatever they stopped showing on 4Kids a long time ago. So I think it'd be really interesting to just kind of give a perspective from my end, my review of the One Piece Red film, not being a fan. So let's see how this goes. Of course, I didn't come alone, because that'd be weird. I came with another person.
On you.
It's you.
Oh, me?
Chris is going with me. And Big Cat.
That's right.
He's already seen it once.
Mm-hmm. Going twice.
Going twice. So Chris kind of watches One Piece. You read the manga?
I know that the movie has to do with Luffy and also Shanks' daughter.
But
That's
your
all.
One Piece knowledge, though.
That's my One Piece knowledge. I know that Sanji is a womanizer, but not really, because he's really respectful to women, actually. He just likes most women he comes across. I know that Zoro likes swords. Yeah?
Would you say you're a One Piece fan, though?
Am I a One Piece fan?
Yes.
I don't know enough about it to consider myself a fan, but it's pretty good.
David, your thoughts on One Piece?
I love it. I'd probably still say, like, respectfully, I'm a casual, just because I had, like, lightly watched it. I had watched up to Alabasta, but that's, like, when I was a kid, and it was, like, the 4Kids dub. Reading through the manga right now, I'm trying to catch up, but there's just so much. Now,
So you're probably the biggest fan amongst us, then.
Probably. But then it's not like I'm, like, a crazy, like,
I guess for
gigantic
context,
I've been, like, binge reading.
I am caught up to the manga. Like, I'm at the most recent.
we look at spoilers.
Yeah.
But, like, in terms of, like, the nitty-gritty, like, every chapter, that I'm working on.
So this video will be one non-One Piece fan, which is me, one casual, and one lover of anime.
This is a control group.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a real good opinion out of the movie on this one, I think.
I'd say so. This will be my second watch. I really liked it. I think I still have. I think my current ranking is like Film Z, Stampede, Red. But then Red, I honestly might put above Stampede in some circumstances.
We'll check back in after we watch it. We're gonna head out soon, but I just want to get their pre-thoughts, even though Dave has already seen it. Classic popcorn and soda pop. These men are ordering the entire menu. They know what they want. I appreciate that. They know what they want in life, and I could be more decisive, honestly, in life. The lighting in here is crazy. Anyway, okay, so it's like 1 in the morning now. After the movie, we went out. So Chris is not here, neither is David. Shout out to them for going with me to see this movie. So One Piece Red, my review as a non-One Piece fan, the extent of my One Piece knowledge is, like I mentioned earlier, from the 4Kids dub that was played back in the day. So I'm aware of some characters and like what they do and like their what they're about, basically. So I know that I've seen several videos online of like the timeline explained, like here's what's happening in the current story. So I know a little bit up to, I think, after the time skip that happens. So this movie, going into this, I wasn't like completely blind. I think if I was completely blind to like who everybody was, I would probably be a little bit confused and a little bit like, what the hell is going on? Because even having the knowledge that I have now, there were still characters in them that I was like, who's this person? I've never seen this person before. Anyway, so I don't think, if you've never seen anything about One Piece at all, if you're not familiar with One Piece at all, I don't think you can go into this blind. You need to have a little bit of some knowledge, at least of who the characters are. But yeah, the movie itself, it was definitely a movie. I feel like it had really weird pacing, because there were certain scenes where like it would flash back and explain things, but then it would cut and be like, no, wait, what's happening here? and then it would like the world that we were in, the Yuta world, and then the real world. It was just a bunch of shit going on at once. What I liked about it, I guess, overall, this is a movie that's a musical. I had no idea. So if you don't really like musicals, you're probably not gonna like this movie either. It's kind of caught me off guard. So I think it's kind of cool that it did do that. Like that was the approach. Is like that it was a musical. Like how many anime films are doing like a musical? Like that's their whole thing. Maybe Belle, that's probably about it. And even then, I don't think that was much of a big musical. So I did like that they took the risk of making it more like musical based. So that approach is really interesting. I did like Yuta as a character, so it's cool to see that there was like, Shanks had a daughter. Wasn't really his daughter, we find out, but I did like that approach. She was a cool character. I liked her design. Her costume, she kind of reminded me of Todoroki, just because the half red hair, half white hair type situation. I liked the angle of her being like a pop star, or like a Korean pop star, but a Japanese, whatever. Like that whole thing in the time zone of like One Piece, like it's interesting to see because it's kind of like the setting is back in the day because they're just pirates at the end of the day. So it's cool to see like modern themes in the movie. And cults are tight. That's her whole thing. She wanted to make a cult and like kill everybody and like take them with her to the afterlife so everybody can be happy and not worry about everything. So her character motivation, I think, was interesting, I guess. Cults are always interesting, just like the whole mentality of being in a cult and stuff like that. So having that be her motive, I was like, that's kind of interesting. But then you find out that it's just like she's sad because she felt like she was abandoned as a child. But then we find out she wasn't abandoned as a child. So yeah, that all kind of like played into the whole like pacing. It was very whiplashy. Like everything was like cutting from back and forth. Luffy and her were friends, and then they weren't friends, and then she has a dad, but he's not really her dad. So I would say that's my biggest complaint about it, is that the pacing was a bit weird. The animation itself, it was cool. I'm not like the biggest fan of One Piece's art style. I know a lot of people do like it, but the character designs for me, I'm just like, this just hit or miss for me. Hit or miss. I liked Yuta's design. Luffy's costume was fucking trash. His shirt with the microphone, I did not enjoy that. Sanji was cool. Commander Cody, I've never seen him before. I don't know who he is. That's past my knowledge of One Piece. So he was tight. I liked him. I also liked the villain, the dude with the scruff and the laser guns. This part of like the Marines or whatever, the Navy. He was really cool. I don't know if he's gotten his ass beat in the series. I'm sure he has at this point, because canonically, as far as I know, spoilers if you don't know, Shanks dies, right? He gets killed, and then they do the big time skip. So I guess it would fit before the time skip. And I know that One Piece film is just like the Dragon Ball movies. They're not really like canon in the universe. So yeah, I guess that would be like the timeline of this, is that it was before the time skip, but there's some things or some characters that were introduced after the time skip. It's just a weird pocket of time that happened there. But yeah, so character designs or characters themselves, I enjoyed Commander Cody. He was cool. The villain, like I said, he was cool. Sunny as a fucking chibi thingy, whatever, that was adorable. I like Sunny a lot. He was funny. And but yeah, everything else though, the pacing was weird. The story itself, I think, was pretty interesting. It's pretty dark. I was surprised at how dark the story was, of like, oh, I want to kill everybody and we're gonna live happily ever after. Like that theme of that was really dark, and I was surprised. So I don't watch One Piece, I mentioned, so I don't know if this is like normal for them to get this kind of dark. The action itself wasn't really there until the end, the big fight scene, which always happens. The team up between Shanks and Luffy, cool. I don't think it was as cool as Deku and Bakugo, or fucking Vegeta and Goku, or did Tanjiro team up with somebody in Mugen Train? I'm sure he did. Oh, Rengoku, I guess. Yeah. So as far as like team ups go, for me, I'd rank it like last. It wasn't like super mind blowing. Maybe if they were like together, not like in separate worlds, it would have been cooler. But yeah. The movie itself, though, I would say, for me, a rating, and not being a One Piece fan, I would give it like a solid 7.5 to 8. One Piece fans, I know you guys are probably gonna go crazy and be like, no, it's a fucking 10. But, it just, I don't know, man. It was a weird choice for a plot for a movie. But you gotta applaud it for taking the risk, right? Because not many people take the risk. So I guess at the end of the day, I give them a 10 for the risk taking in the story that they told. But as far as like the movie and the execution of it, I'm gonna give it 7.5 out of 8. Would I recommend? If you're a One Piece fan, I'm sure you've already seen it, so yeah, I would recommend. If you're a One Piece fan, I'm sure all these characters in here will do it for you. Oh, I saw it dubbed, by the way, so I don't think I've ever watched One Piece subbed. I've only seen it dubbed, like I said, and I've seen the bad dub, the 4Kids dub, which is, you know, everyone's like least favorite. So the dub itself, the voices, it feels like a lot of them were recycled, like within like the groups of people. But Luffy's voice is fine. Usopp, I think it's just Krillin, which is cool. It's weird, kind of hearing like the English Yuta and her singing in Japanese. Yeah, but I don't know. Just the thoughts. These are my initial thoughts. These are just like not fresh out the theater, but like a couple hours after seeing the movie. These are just my thoughts and what I've had to say about it. And yeah, One Piece film Red. It was alright. It was alright for being, you know, not a One Piece fan. Would I go see more movies that I'm not a fan of franchises of? Maybe. It was pretty fun to be there. My crowd, the people that I went to see it with, like the people in theater, some of them were kind of like talking the whole time. They weren't as hype as like a lot of anime movies that I've seen in theaters, but it wasn't like super packed either. If I went opening night, I'm sure it was packed and like people were like, you know, lit. But my crowd was pretty weak, so it didn't really add to the experience. But yeah, as far as like anime films go that I've seen, it's probably like, you know, mid-tier. But overall, yeah, One Piece Red, if you're a fan, go watch it. If you're not a fan of One Piece at all and you're like me and you have like a little bit of knowledge, if you're bored at home and you want something to do, go check it out. You might like it. For me, pretty enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie to you guys before I end this video. I did fall asleep halfway through. I think because I was tired. I got off work and I went straight to the movies. But yeah, there was like a part in the middle where they were kind of just like expositioning it, and I was just like, and I fell asleep. And I woke up towards the end, so it wasn't a long nap. It was maybe like 5 minutes, if that. So, but yeah, One Piece Film Red, check it out. And you know, as always, hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog video that I did. It was all on iPhone too, so sorry for the quality if you don't like it. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe down below, follow down below, all that fun stuff. We have a new handle on YouTube. That's kind of cool. So we are at The Dynamic Entry, so that's kind of interesting to see that. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.